Hello and welcome back to more Geometry Dash. The triple spike is perhaps the most iconic obstacle in the entire game. It is just super easy to make. There's no creativity, no thinking outside the box. You just put 3 spikes together and it's done. Simple. So of course today I'm going to be horribly overcomplicating things and trying to create the most object dense triple spike I can. But first, the rules. First of all, this triple spike has to be made of just 3 spikes in a row. I'm allowed to have like spikes inside them, but I don't want to have some kind of weird structure like this which has thousands of like mini spikes everywhere. I want to have a simple just 3 spikes. Second of all, I'm just focusing on decorating these 3 triple spikes down here. I don't care about the surroundings, I don't care about making it fit into like a level, I just care about these 3 spikes. Thirdly, I'm going for the most object dense thing I can make, but I also don't want it to look ugly, so I'm trying to make it look as good as possible and have lots of objects. And lastly, in the spirit of this challenge, I'm not going to be cramming in loads of invisible objects you can't see just to increase the object count. So with all that out of the way, here is our triple spike. As you can see, that's it. That's all we have so far. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually swap out these for just these default colored spikes instead. Since I've got kind of like a rainbow themed decoration in my head to try and cram in as many objects as possible. Now the first thing I want to do is make these spikes all fixed hitboxes because that will add in lots of objects and it does actually affect gameplay. It's not some unnecessary addition. So if we rotate this oh yeah, there we go, got it. Alright, cool, so now I literally just have a hitbox. Now if we move this up here but rotate it slightly, that should be in line? That looks pretty much in line to me, so we're going to scale this up. Yeah, so this one, I know I'm trying to have a bunch of objects, but I think here it'd actually be kind of efficient. Just do something like that. Because it doesn't matter that this hitbox extends so far inwards, because if you land here, you're going to die anyway, so we can copy paste this, move this a long one. Here we can't, unfortunately, so you need to flip it and flip that for the middle one. That is our hitbox fixing already done. We only needed 4 spikes for that, unlike the mess other people have made trying to make fixed hitboxes. And we don't have to worry about these gaps here since you can't hit them. We don't have to worry about the bottom since you aren't going to be hitting that either. So now let's move on to the decoration. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is move on to the next layer, turn off hitboxes. And I think I want to get an outline going around each of these spikes. So I think we should be good just to use the 3D outline. So that should just be like the base basically. I think I'm going to add in a flat bit at the bottom, scale it down ever so slightly. And then that should be the outline for the spike. You can't see a difference because it's all white for now, but that will change soon enough. I want these to be on a relatively high edge to layer. I'm going to say T2, just as high as we need to make it go. I believe all of these can be made invisible as well, now that we have these outlines instead. And so as I said, I want to make a rainbow kind of style gradient. So I'm going to take these, where are they? Triangles. These triangles, yep. And then I'm going to flip them on each other to create a little diamond. And then I want to space them so that the difference between one diamond is going to be one of these spaces. So currently it's 4, so these need to all be quartered in size. I'm going to take this using scale hack, scale it down to 0.25. And what this should mean is that, okay, yeah, so we can move just 2 grid spaces like that, and then across 2, down 1, and then we're going to need to make this the entire length of a grid space, entire height, sorry, of a grid space. Okay, so that is all that we will be needing. Right, well the only thing that is bothering me is that you can see the tiny gaps between each of these. So I'm thinking if we do a massive copy paste and move it across 1 and down 2, that fills in all the gaps except for that very top one, but I'm gonna have to live with that. Okay, so that's already 60 objects, that's quite a lot. But this should just be able to slot in like within this. I'm not gonna need all of those. Okay, it should be able to slot in within this line here. And I'm going to move this on to the next editor layer. There we go, there is our finished strip. So that's going to be the first one. We're going to set this to 2, which I already have as red. Turn off blending though. And turn off glow as well. So that is all we have so far. That's the start of our rainbow glowing spikes. So if we go over to 2, next thing we want to do is obviously copy paste. Move it down 1 over 2. And there's no gap, good. So we take that, Move on to edge layer 3, go on to edge layer 3. Select this and change the color to, we're going to make it orange, but I'm going to have it copy the color of 2. And then we're going to change the hue, I think by 60 would be 60 or maybe 40. I'll see how different it looks. I want it to be visibly orange, not yellow quite yet. That is already yellow. Okay, that is too far. So we're going to edit and scale it back. I think we'll do 30 should work. Alright, so there we go. That's our orange. And then I think you see where this is going. We're just going to copy paste every time down, across, and shift the hue by plus 30. Alright, so now that we've done that, it's time to clean up a little bit because I'm using way too many objects. We're going to take this here, it's very selective, we're going to use custom filter. And now we're going to take all of these, well not all of those, we're going to take, like a bit safer, we'll just delete all of those. There we go, so that way we're not wasting that many objects. So we're going to turn off that, I'm just going to copy paste this. So there we have our basic spike, this is the basic spike we're going to be going for. And yeah, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look as good as I thought it would, but it still doesn't look too bad. So the next thing we want to do, I think, is maybe try and salvage this with a bit of glow. So we're going to need, obviously, the really, really thin ones, like these. Except that's literally the size of a spike. Okay, so we're going to need to make these extremely thin. Once again, so they can be moved exactly, at least what are these, 1/10, 1/15 of a grid space, and be separate. So, time to scale these down way too far. 0.1, see what happens. If we copy paste and move this over 1 grid space, is that the correct? There's no way that's correct. We might be onto something, hold up. You know, that looks like it might just work. Up by 2 and across 1. That appears to just barely work. And then once again we do a bit of copy pasting and we have better spikes. So there is our triple spike, but we still have to animate it. I still want to make it look cool because currently I mean, it's not bad, it's just really, really boring. It doesn't do anything. So we need to change that. Set up a spawn loop real quick. So this can have... Oh, isn't that cool? Okay, this is really looking good. And then we want to, I think, turn down the fade time to that. And then obviously we're going to have to do the same with spawn triggers so that they don't all mess up. And then I think, well, we'll keep it like that. Oh, that's a good sign, it's already lagging. Okay, so that is our perfectly functioning, crazy looking triple spike. And I'll do something with those tomorrow. I think I've done enough for today. I'm going to finish this off tomorrow. Alright, welcome back to making this really over-decorated triple spike. So, what do we I think I'm going to start by making all of these outlines and make them all black. I think it'll look better that way. Now, the next thing I want to do is actually, I want to change this spawn loop here so that they don't change evenly, like maybe it ripples in faster and slower, it looks cooler. So, I need to fiddle with these until it looks cool.
2,000 years later.
Okay, time to just throw in some random numbers, hope for the best. So 0.5, 6, 8, 10. I think maybe if we just try 1, 8. Okay. Have I messed anything up? I feel like the transition between the greens looks very, very unnatural. Oh, okay, that would explain a lot. 0.08. And I've messed up both of these. Okay, wow. Alright, now let's see what this looks like. I think I'm happy with that, actually. I think it's still a bit slow, but I think it's good enough that I'm going to keep it for now at least. Okay, it's time for our other plans. I think if we put some of these in the corners, they could look nice. Okay, and then we can make it smaller in this corner, just for no good reason. A bit of variety, make it like 0.5. Yeah, okay. Boom, that looks instantly more interesting. Okay, that's cool. I have another idea, but it's going to take ages. And to do this, we're going to have all of these spikes be set up on different color channels, so I can change the color of each spike individually. So, I'll see you once I'm done with that. So now I've just gone and set up all the colors I'll need. Now I've just got to change all of these colors. So okay, so that's all done. The spikes still look the same, but these are all on different color channels to the first and third spike. So I think it looks kind of neat, 'cause it seems like when this one goes fast and they all go in a sequence, like this one's pushing into this one. The only thing I want is for these to start before you start jumping, so I'm actually going to offset the music back ever so slightly, like a second, probably, 33. Okay, I believe. Yeah, that looks just about the right place. You try and follow play, turn off ignore damage. So that looks good, because then all the rainbow things are going before you reach. And I think the last thing I'd want to do is, on that jump, I want to pulse the outlines white. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So that is the entire spike finally complete for real this time, with a total of now 1,427 objects. So yeah, that's our spike. That's how many objects I managed to cram into a single triple spike. And there you go. If you want to see this very mobile-friendly object-dense triple spike, you can go 925-60630. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.